Most of us buy traditional pads and tampons every month to handle our period, but there are many eco-friendly options that are good for the environment and easy on the budget. So back with me now, we've got Dr. Marjorie Dixon. And I love that we're not just talking about these, but you've tried. Have you tried all of these options?
I did a deep dive.
You did a deep dive.
Into field study for this segment.
Well, it's good.
Yeah.
And listen, she's just one woman and a doctor, but you have to try them to figure out what's going to work for you and what doesn't work for you. Some of us are big on tampons, others like pads, so it really depends on what your preference is. Where do you want to start, Marge?
Well, I think also saying it's important to consider, the average woman of in her reproductive lifespan will menstruate more than 400 times.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's a lot of pads or tampons. And when you think about it, I remember, okay, my mom's going to be mad at me for saying this, but I remember when I first got my period and my mom came out with this like magical belt and a thing.
Oh,
I was like,
yes.
I'm like, Mom, they have adhesive ones that go in your underwear now. But we've come a long way, baby,
We
right?
have.
So a lot of my patients will actually talk about the options, and we do feel responsible in this reduce, reuse, recycle, and you want to maintain your planet.
Yes.
So these are some of the options. So I would start probably over here with these cervical cups.
Okay, so these, I remember maybe 6 or 7 years ago, I was approached to talk about these. I was like, are you kidding me? Yeah. Something that is actually going to catch your period blood and you are going to have to empty out yourself and then you're going to have to like wash everything in sight. I was like, there's no way. 6 years later, I cannot tell you how many women I hear use this and love this. And there's more than one brand. There's several of them out there. But why don't you tell us how it works?
So there are 2 sizes. One of the sizes is for before you've had babies, and then the other one is after when your cervix opens up and lets it out.
Yeah.
It stretches, so it becomes a paracervix. So you have the bigger sized cup.
Okay.
So as a gynecologist, I'm fairly adept at manipulating in a vagina.
Yeah.
And so I was able to get it up onto the cervix well.
Yeah.
It's great because you can actually wear it for a full half day and not have to change. Technically, you can wear it all day for some women, but if you are on your first day and you have heavy flow, I did have a minute of a leak, and I have to go to the bathroom at the office, and then you have to stick your fingers and dump it into the toilet. It's nice because it is reusable, and you clean it and it lasts for multiple periods. However, if you don't like putting your fingers deep into your vagina and then having to wash blood out of your fingernails sometimes, it might not be your choice.
It's messy, and that's why I didn't think it would take off the way it has, but it has. Like, this is a really good eco-friendly choice for a lot of women.
For days, like for women who have lighter flows, or for days kind of 3 through 7, if you bleed that long, or 3 through 5 where it's lighter, it's great. You stick it on in the morning, and then at night you take it off. It's like, wow, and you see the blood get less and less. It's like a science experiment. It's nice.
Yeah.
So, and if you do find you leak, you can put a little liner. So the other...
It's always good to have a liner. This does not look like a big cup to catch all of your flow, but I'm shocked at that. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good option.
Okay, let's talk about these. There are organic tampons out there. When we talk about waste, this is the applicators, brutal. And all of that plastic, the little thing on the pad that you're throwing out, brutal for the environment.
Landfills.
Landfills, and also just for your own health, you're putting this in your body.
And the ones that the store-bought, the standard ones, are also bleached and processed. To be honest. So much as we enjoy using them, they may contain chemicals that are not great for your body. So these organic options don't have all the bleaches, and it's organic cotton based, and the applicator is also fully biodegradable.
That's great.
And it just felt like a tampon. So it felt like the same.
Easy peasy.
If you are used to using tampons, that is a good option. The smaller organic cotton tampons are just the smaller version without any packaging around them. And the packaging is also biodegradable and fully renewable. So it's not filling a landfill. So that makes you feel good about your period.
Right, and only use these if you're okay with going without an applicator. You know who you are. I know who I am. Let's talk about the different underwear out there that actually have absorption, like sort of sewn into it.
They're pad bits inside, and then you bleed into them essentially.
Can you pick it up for us, just so you can see? Because I was surprised at how small the pad was.
They look like a panty, feel like a panty, but inside there's cush, and it absorbs fairly well. So, you know, we all know what kind of menstrual girl we are. If you don't mind wearing a pad and having that sensation of leaking out, this feels just like having a pad without the tear out. The issue then is though that you have to wash it.
Yes.
So if you bleed lots into it, you have to have a second panty available for changing, and you have to have somewhere to put the panty until you can get home and wash it. And then you have to, if you have kids, you have to make sure they don't come in and then the sink and it's the washer. So, but this is something that works really well. Also at nighttime. That was a nice, and they're soft. They're all really nice. These ones are particularly thin. They also have the reinforced middle. I don't know if you can tell that, but it's super absorbent material.
You can see that.
It absorbs way more than you think. They say a tampon and a pad's worth.
Oh, wow. Okay, it even comes in a thong. Can you pass me the thong?
Yeah.
Who knew? Guys, there's a pad in there.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little thing. Where are you?
And it's actually kind of
in
cute.
there.
Like, it's a cute little panty, right?
Yeah, it's a cute little panty. That's a nice panty. Okay, so you
And
got to
the
hand
last-
wash that and then put it in the wash. So it's a bit of work.
But it's
really
much
quickly,
lighter.
the reusable pads
And this
now.
is just a reusable pad.
Yeah.
It actually is really nice on a panty. It doesn't, you don't leak around it. I was pretty impressed with it. So you can wear it and change it like every other pad, except you go home and you wash it.
Yeah.
They dry pretty quickly too. So these are good options. I was actually quite surprised at how versatile a menstrual person I was. So if you want to think about your environment, these are your options.
Marjorie, thank you so much for
It's a
trying them
pleasure.
all.